Welcome to today's class. As usual, today too we're dealing with grade 10 English and we're using CDC English produced by Curriculum Development Center. And today we're dealing with Unit 14. In Unit 13, we're talking about the past and it is the continuation of talking about the past. And here, interrupted continuous action. We are discussing with reading text here today. And while dealing with the text, we'll try to find out how these past tenses are used over there. So we'll try to see the grammar inside our text. Now let us see the text. Let me share my screen with you. Unit 14, talking about the past. It is second part. First part we have already dealt in Unit 13. And this talking about the past in this second part is related with interrupted continuous actions and how this grammar is incorporated here inside. We'll try to find out later, but beforehand, we'll try to see what is there in the text. Okay, even before entering the main text, we can see here some pictures. Let's say in reading part, engage yourself. Look at the picture and answer the questions given below. Lucy, you can see a picture. You can guess. You can guess. It's not necessary that you can give the correct answer or you have to give the correct answer. It is only for brainstorming. Look at the picture and answer the questions given below. And as you can see here in the picture, okay, and there are some questions related to it. How many persons can you see in the picture? Do you have grandma? Does she love you? So by these questions, we can guess something, okay? Let's say simply, how many persons can you see in the picture? Definitely you can count 1, 2, 3. Okay, we can see 3 persons in the picture. Then these questions can be related with the questions. How many persons are there in the story which is about to come now? Do you have grandma? Maybe we can guess our upcoming stories about grandma and love care. Does she love you? This space I have taken it from Curriculum Development Center e-library. Now here what you can see is over here I have underlined some of the words. I have highlighted some words and you can see this symbol is the recorded voice. Okay, so let us see what is there in the story. Okay, B, study time. Read the story and find out why Pavitra. We don't know which Pavitra. Maybe it will be clear when we go through the text. Left her home, and we have to know the reason for leaving the home, and came back again, and what made her come back again. So these things, okay? So we have to be focused on to find out the answer why Pavitra left her home and why again she came back and who is Pavitra. What are the reasons like this? Reunion of the family. Grandma, grandma, yelled Dinesh. Look at here. This yelled This is bold letter. So not only this one, if you see, like for example, steering, scare, like the letters which are bold, you know, bigger in size. So these words are to be paid attention because related exercises are given there below the text. Grandma, grandma, yelled Dinesh. Yelled, you know, like when you want to say something in excitement or with a loud voice, and that time you yell. So yelled Dinesh means, let's say simply, he shouted or he spoke in loud voice. Grandma, grandma. Okay, it seems that he has something to tell her. Pavitra looked around and said, now Pavitra. So grandma, grandma, Dinesh is saying, and Pavitra look around means we can relate Pavitra is the grandmother of Dinesh. Pavitra looked around and said, I am here, Kanchu. Kanchu is a typical Nepali word. When you love someone, okay, who is junior to you, normally we use the word Kanchu, loving word. Dinesh was perplexed. Dinesh was perplexed. Perplexed meaning is, it's confused. When she, when he saw the scene there, the scene was out of his expectation. So he was perplexed. He was surprised to see the scene. What was the scene? When he saw his grandma packing so many bags. Grandma was packing the bags. It means she was about to go somewhere else, which was not expected by Dinesh. Where, where are you going, Grandma? Where are you going, Grandma? Pavitra looked at her 8 years old grandson. Looked at her 8 years old grandson. 8 years. Okay? Eight. Your uncle's house. In reply, in response, she said, your uncle's house means she was going to the boy's uncle's house. It means her son's house, another son's house. Are you going for a long time there? Asked Dinesh. So, up to here, we have understood there is a conversation between grandma or grandmother Pavitra, named Pavitra, and her grandson Dinesh. So, grandmother was preparing to go somewhere else. Somewhere else means her another son's house, which was not expected by his by her grandson Dinesh. So he was asking, "Where are you going?" Your uncle's house. She replied. Up to here, you have understood. And the words, ailed, perplexed, you got the meaning. All right. So are you going for a long time there? Pavitra did not reply, but continued packing her things. She did not answer because she did not know when she was coming back, or she was not sure whether she would come back or not. Therefore, she didn't answer. At the moment, his mother, Junakiri, arrived looking very stressed. That's Son's mother, Dinesh's mother, and Pavitra's daughter-in-law. See the relation? Daughter-in-law. Junkiri arrived looking very stressed. Very stressed meaning is in a pressure. Okay, she has got a kind of tension, or let's say she was having a kind of problems inside. She was not fresh, it means. And Junkiri asked her son Dinesh to go to the room. Go to your room and check whether you have completed your homework. Don't disturb grandma, she said, staring at him. So, staring at him, you might have understood. Staring at him, or staring meaning is that you are looking at somebody or something for a long time. Okay, so while staring, your eyes are fixed at something else or someone else, but you have so many things inside running into your mind. That's what steering. When people are in pressure, tension, okay, they steer the things. Dinesh went to his room. He was scared of his mother when she was in a serious mood. Dinesh was a clever boy also. He knew that his mother was not happy at the moment. She was in a serious mood. So when she was in her bad temper or in her serious mood, and he would not debate or argue anything else, he would simply listen to her and would do as per the instruction. So he went to his room. He was scared of. Scared of meaning is afraid of. Okay, another word for afraid is scared of. After an hour, she called a taxi and loaded it with her luggage. After an hour, a taxi arrived. She called and loaded it with her luggage. It means she was letting her mother-in-law, Pavitra, go to her younger son's house. Where are you, Kanju? Come here. I am leaving, the grandmother says here. No sooner had he approached, approached. What is this approach? Approach meaning is came near, okay? When no sooner had he approached, then she kissed and squeezed him tightly. Squeezed means press something tightly. Squeezed him tightly meaning is like suppose when you know love somebody else, your uh, dearest person comes nearby you, okay, and when you want to just living somewhere else, then what you do, you'll squeeze, you'll just put somebody else in your arms and you just press it tightly. Grandma was loving that child and she was living, and there is a pain in her heart to leave him. So in this situation, to express her excessive love, you know, she took him, kissed, and squeezed in her arms. She put some money in his hand and got onto the taxi. Grandma, when will you come back? Dinesh shouted as she vanished into the crowded city in the taxi, his questions remained unanswered. The person who loved him the most, who took care of him the best, was leaving. And definitely it was a very hard time for Dinesh. When will you come back? But unfortunately, grandma couldn't hear him. She already banished into the crowded city. Banished means she disappeared. She was out of scene, or Dinesh could not see him in the crowded city. Yes, crowded city means where like more population is over there, more people are over there. In the taxi, and no answer. Dinesh was not sure when his grandma would be back or wouldn't be back. He turned to his father, Jairam. His father's name was Jairam, and said, Daddy, stop her, or let me go with her. Why hasn't she taken me? When will she come back? See, that innocent child is asking so many questions out of his pain, the pain that he has got inside. Jairam held his hand, held. He took his hand, he caught his hand, entered the room and said, She has gone to your uncle's house. How could she take you with her? You should be anxious about your study and exam. I don't know when she'll come back. So here, without giving the required answer, simply father tried to put up the things. Actually, by his expression, we can feel that one. He was hiding something else. He was not telling truth to his son. So to divert his mind, he's asking him, focus on your study. You have to be anxious. Anxious means you have to worry about your study. You have to think about your study, assignments, or examinations, whatever. And it's not necessary, as if he was trying to say, it is not necessary to think about grandma's going. Grandma loved him very much. He used to sleep in her lap, playing with her gray hair and caressing her wrinkled face. So, what Dinesh used to do, that he used to sleep in her lap. Lap, that is folding legs. As you can see in the picture, grandma would take him in lap, sit on her lap, okay, and he would play with her gray hair. It's my black one, okay, gray, like this, and wrinkle face. Wrinkle faced, that is old people has got like this all linings. You can see that is wrinkle face. Grandma taking him in her lap. The grandson, you know, touching or caressing her wrinkled face, playing with gray hair. These activities show the strong love bond between grandmother and grandson. They loved each other, and grandma is going away. See what feelings has come inside grandson. What is happening inside? We can guess. we can imagine the pain, the suffering that grandson is feeling at the departure of his grandmother.